welcome to another episode of Indigenous Survival. I am your host, Jeff Soaring Hawk Gibson. Today I want to talk about these fire starting necklaces that you can get through Temu. Now I did order 3 different examples of them. I'll take them out of the package in just a second. Everything from what I call the best to the worst. Different prices on them. I think the worst was like $1.95 all the way up to this one. I think it was $10. I think they change their prices constantly. And I also went ahead and ordered their little 6-pack thing of fat wood that's supposedly for a necklace or whatever, because it has a little lanyard hole drilled in them. Get more of these later. Okay, we're going to see exactly how good these are. This one I call the worst. You know, this is it. So, not that. This one's it. Now, there really isn't that much to it. I did try these in my house yesterday after I got them in. To be honest with you, I know why I call this the worst. This is your ferro rod. Yeah, it makes a nice little necklace and everything like that, and this is your thrower, your striker. Well, you know, you see how difficult I'm having holding this stupid thing. There really isn't much there. Now you have to kind of, you know, does it work? Yes. Would this be something I'm going to say, hey, I got a way to start a fire 100%? No. This is not big enough. It's cute. It is fairly lightweight. I'll say that for it. Obviously, you've seen it does throw sparks, but it's just really difficult to use. Okay? It takes a lot to hold this little thing, but as you know, with anything, yeah, if you use it with something else, you know, obviously, you have good, really dry tinder, or you took a mag block with you, or the fat wood, or something like that, and shaved the little pieces, yeah, it's better. You know, more than one way of starting to get the thing actually going. Like, okay, fat wood's awesome, but why not combine the fat wood with some mag block shavings? There's 2 things that's going to, definitely something's going to strike. Maybe if you combine that with a third option. The little makeup kit, things like I showed you I made before, and I'll show you again here in a little bit. Little makeup wipes with that has lighter fluid and combination of lighter fluid and wax mixed together. Smoking becoming less and less popular these days, with everybody doing vaping and stuff. My son vapes, so there's no fire. I don't smoke at all, so if I don't bother to check my Zippo every few days to see if it's full, I may get out there in the bush thinking I got my Zippo, my trusty Zippo, and yeah, you know how many times I tried to start a grill and my Zippo was out of fluid? So like I said, it varies. If you're a smoker, you don't even know that problem, because my dad smoked, like I said, to the day he died. I think the day he died, he smoked, so a few hours before he died. His Zippo was perfectly fine. It hit it one time, up mine. I'm going to pull mine out of my pocket. I haven't messed with this in about a week or so. Let's see if the damn thing even has, yeah, okay, it's amazing, but it's going down. So, guess what? Time to put fluid in it. But like I said, I don't check it all the time. My dad, every 2 days, he's putting lighter fluid in. So, he never experienced a dead lighter. So, if you smoke, you don't have that problem. If you don't smoke, but you want to carry a lighter like I do, various things, starting your grill, campfire, or whatever, you may get out there and no light. Now, one thing about a lighter, whether it's a Zippo or a Bic, you do have the spark. So, spark. If you can get a spark going, yeah, there's a good chance people, you can start a fire without them, and it does work. But like a Bic lighter, hey, it's Bic lighter, 99 cents, or generic version, 3 for 99 cents. Okay, fine, but what happens if you fall and it breaks? Same thing for matches. I'll tell you what, I got the Stormproof, I got the Zippo ones, I've got numerous different types of these high lifeboat, windproof, stormproof, hurricane-proof matches. Can I tell you something? They're not all they're cracked up to be either. Because why? I've went through a couple of those just lighting my grill. Same thing for those little one strike on box wooden matches. Under ideal conditions, you know, I've went through 3 or 4 of those to light one. Yeah, here's the thing. Again, if you're, how can I say this? If you're trying to start a fire because you need to warm up, you're shaking, how many of those matches you gonna go through? Same thing, that's why different size, that's why the best ones are longer ferro rods. Little bitty thing you're trying to shake to light that, yeah, I wouldn't want to. So you always carry more than one way to start a fire, and personally more than one way to actually get the thing going. Now to these little blocks of fat wood. Well, we all know how good fat wood is. I use it all the time. I buy it by the big bags at Rural King, Tractor Supply, various other places. Menards sells it. I use it all the time to get my grill going. I got this set up just to show you how well we're going to see how these fire necklaces do for getting a fire going. But you know, these wasn't that much, like $3 for 6. Yeah, I know there's a lot of people out there that's going to say the same thing I did. Only 6 little blocks for $3, $4. I could buy a bag for 7 or 8, buy 2.5 pounds of it. And you're right. I use it all, like I said, I use it all the time. Problem with it is it's in various shapes and everything. The only thing you can do with that is pre-cut it, shave it off, put it inside an old medicine bottle or something like that and carry it with you. But yeah, I do it too. Okay, take out a little bit to help get my tinder going. Yes, I do the same thing. But when I seen these, this fits perfect on a necklace. So if you're going to put stuff on a necklace, bother to carry a fire necklace, I would put one of these, and actually I'd put a mag block alongside of it. So using the one I just had, I'd have it here with this and then a mag block right next to it. Now I got all 3 ingredients I need to start a fire. But real quick, before I get on to showing you how these work, I just want to say this real fast. You shouldn't go out in the woods with just, oh, I got this fire, you know, after you build a fire necklace, go, hey, I got this fire necklace, I don't need anything else. I'll go out in the woods with just it. Please don't. There's an old saying that says, 1 is none, 2 is 1. I carry a Zippo lighter. I wouldn't go out in the woods with just that Zippo lighter. And Zippos are awesome. They've been around since World War II. My dad carried one in Korea. They're great, but I've had mine fail. I mean, I don't smoke. So if you smoke, you don't have this problem. Okay, my brother who recently passed away, he smoked all the time. His Zippo was always full. Never failed because he smoked. Smoking becoming less and less popular these days. Okay, now this one was a little more expensive, but I call this one a better one. This would be the one I would personally carry. Not too thrilled about this, so I may or may not continue to keep it, but I'm showing it. This is how it comes. This is your striker. It does have a kind of a ruler, I guess, for it if you really need to, and a little bottle opener, I guess. I'm assuming. Most of this stuff you probably have on a multi-tool. So this is your ferro rod, a lot better. It is not attached, which is a minus to me. It's got the hole for it, but it's not attached in any way. And it comes with a, let me put this ferro rod back. It comes with a pipe, so you can get your fire going better. If you're into making stuff like a bowl or something, you want to use this to, you put your coals in your from your fire into the wood you're carving, and it's called fire burning, and this was great for it. Also kind of useful as a straw if you really think about it. So it does have multiple uses, but it's intended for blowing your embers into a fire, but it's nicer. Comes with a little leather pouch. Now I will say this, the necklace part of it, it is leather. It's just so thin, I would replace it. What I intend on doing myself is, see there's the little holes for it, is I will run better, thicker cord through it. Way better. This, I tried it in my in the house yesterday. I'm not impressed with this, and I'll show you why. You know, it's just, yeah. If you're trying to rely on this to get it going, you know, it's a pain. It works, yes. Yesterday it worked so much better with a damn knife. Okay. Okay, and I am no way affiliated with Temu. Sometimes I wished I was being sponsored by them. I got that backwards from yesterday. Okay. I will say this, the cord is supposed to be leather. It is leather, but it's very thin leather. Would I replace this? Yes, I would, and I will replace it with much heavier, because now let's go to the next one. I call this the medium one, middle ways. It's on its own, I don't know. It does come with extra O-rings for making it waterproof, watertight. This is their idea of the necklace. I'm not, yeah, unless you're going to just put it around your wrist. It wouldn't even go around your wrist. Frankly, unless you're going to attach it to something else. Temu, I'm sorry to say this, if anybody from Temu is watching this, please include bigger paracord. That is not enough, unless, like I say, you're going to attach it to put a D-ring or a clip ring around this, because it goes through here. That's fine after you get it through there. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. After you tie it, if you want to put that to a D-ring or something, hang it from your backpack or your belt, yeah, that'll work. But compared to the other one, yeah, come on. Let's be for real, Temu. Okay, this is what you get. It does come with a couple extra O-rings, so that's a plus. There's your ferro rod. Again, it's kind of small. Don't go by the pictures, everybody, because the picture shows this thing's about the size of a pencil. And here's your striker. Yep. Tiny little thing. Very hard to use. Does throw sparks, but it is very, very hard to use. When you're holding this to press down, it's pressed on your thumb. It does make it sore. So while it does work, you end up with a very sore thumb. I did try all three of these yesterday with in my room, my house, with a knife, and they work much better with a pocket knife. But yeah, that's not bad. It's about the same weight as this. So maybe, be honest, if it had the same length of cord that's on this one, and you put it on this one, so much the better. Now, so like I said, you're doing it because you need to get a fire going, because maybe you fell in a cold river, stream, creek, whatever. You're wet, you need it dry. So you need it to start. And the more you stack the deck in your favor, then the better it's going to go. Instead of just going, oh, all I got to do is just use this and some dry. Yeah, well, you can if you feel like it. I personally don't want to take that chance. I want to make sure when I strike it, I'm going to get a flame, because I want to dry out. I want to get warm so I'm not freezing to death. Like I said, you're not going out here in the middle, how are you going, oh, hey Bob, I'm going to light the grill and you go out there with a fire bow and start going. Yeah, nobody does that. I guarantee you, people like Les Stroud, Cody Lundeen, people like that, Matt Graham, they're not starting their grill with a bow drill. They're not starting it by a magnifying glass and sun on a tinder nest. No, they're not doing that. They're putting the lighter fluid on, waiting a few minutes, pulling out a lighter and or a match and lighting it. They are not going, well, it's going to take, let's see, I got the sun right here to get my tinder bundle go. They're not doing that in real life, but they know how if they're out in the middle of nowhere, and that's why I like shows like Dual Survival, Survivor Man, stuff like that. They're showing what if type of deal, not this is how I start my grill for the 4th of July. They don't do it. So, why put yourself behind the 8 ball by only using one thing? I got a fire striker and that's all I need. I don't need no mag block. I don't need this. I don't need that. I do. I want to stack as much odds on my favor as possible. With that being said, let me cut a little bit of this off and we'll see how well they work. They're only waterproof to a certain degree. And I know there is a video out there where a guy takes one of the big, I think it's a Zippo brand, and I have them. They're like $10 for a box of matches. But the guy lights it, got it going, he sticks it down in water, pulls it back out, and it relights. Yeah, it does work. I have done it. But just like those trick candles that you blow and they pop back on that you have fun with your buddy at his birthday party with, and by the way, mine just passed by, and my son and my wife and everybody did that to me. Put those on my cake, I blew it out, but not every one of them relit. That's the thing. Not every candle relit. I'm not going to say exactly how many candles were on there, because then that says exactly how old I am. And let's just say if I did it outside, the fire department would probably be notified by needing to be put out a flame. Maybe things like his house on fire. But with that being said, not everyone relit. Several did, a few didn't. Okay, well, what about if you're like, okay, I'll light this, and it's raining, it's soaking wet. It'll light because the people say it does. Well, you may get the one that doesn't. I wouldn't want to rely on that. I want a few ways. And even like this, if I just want to make a little fire, I'll start with a few different things to get it going. I got that on there. I'll put a little bit of the fat wood on it. That way, if you got 3 items that will take your spark great, the better chances of you getting a fire going. Because you're not, let's be honest, you're not getting a fire going because you want to make campfire and cook roast some marshmallows or roast a hot dog or anything like that. You're doing that because you're cold. You need to get a fire going to warm your body so you don't get hypothermia or anything like that. A six pack of fat wood. Now, the reason I did that, this was fairly expensive, because like $4 or $5. And for anybody who knows fat wood out there, you're going to say, yeah, but you could buy a 2.5 pound bag for a little less than that. You could buy a 10-pound bag for just a little bit more than that. And you're correct. I buy it all the time, Menards, Rural King, Harbor Freight, different places like that. Mainly Menards, Rural King, and there's another one, Tractor Supply probably has it. But the reason I like it is the others that you buy in those boxes or bags, they're great, and I use them all the time. But they're not a uniform shape, nor do they have a hole in them. And I'll open this one up. It has a nice little lanyard hole in it, and it works fine. Well, actually, everybody knows about fat wood, but let's just go ahead and do it. Grab my knife here real quick. Now, reason I like these, like I said, uniform shape, has the little hole, because what I intend on doing with these is using this along with one of those, preferably the last one you just saw. It's going to be the one I'm going to carry. Now, why? Now you have a good tinder source. As you see down here, I got them set up because I'm going to actually see how well these work as far as actually starting a fire. If you've seen one of my videos before, you'll recognize these as those makeup wipes my wife has. You mix wax, it's called golf wax, with lighter fluid, your charcoal lighter fluid. Usually they say a 50-50 mix. I go a little less than that, a little more wax than the lighter fluid, but you just simply dunk them down in there, let them absorb it, lay them on a piece of aluminum foil, and let them dry. Once they dry, they become hard, brittle. You just break them, and they work great. You can make a whole bunch of them for a few bucks. I'd say for around $5, you can make, a couple hundred of them till you run out of wax. I mean, I made, I don't know, about 75 of them and still had plenty of wax left, and just got a little tired of making them. So if you really want to make a whole bunch of them, $5, because I think the golf wax, if you catch it on sale, is like $3 at, I might be a little off on $5. Let's say under $10, depending on where you buy it and everything else. But anyway, and on that I also put a little mag scrapings, because personally what I'm going to do is put my mag block on one side, this on the other side of my of the last fire necklace that you've seen, because with that, the combination of all of it would be great. Because there's an old saying that says one is none, two is one. Because why? If you're going out with just a Zippo lighter or a Bic lighter thinking, oh, I'm fine, I can make all the fires in the world, or even a box of I got a box of stormproof matches, I got 20 matches, that's 20 fires. Yeah, well, can I tell you something? I've used those. I still have a bunch of them made by different companies, and sometimes they work. I've had some that's failed. Same box. I've struck one, worked fine. Grab another one, strike it, didn't want to strike, the little head comes off, no good. So, hey, out of the same box, same company, hit or miss. Same thing for lighters. I got a Zippo I carry. I'm not a smoker, so I may or may not fill it all the time. And it may not be, if you don't think about it all the time, you may need it and it doesn't work. Now, the one thing about the Zippo lighter and even Bic lighters are you have the striker, but it doesn't throw out a bunch of sparks, because it's not designed to. It's designed to throw out enough spark to light the lighter. But with enough persistence, you can get it to light some sort of dry tinder. Yeah. If you want to just keep going, but I don't know about you, but every time I've done my Zippo a lot, I've gotten a sore thumb. So it helps to have a backup. But don't rely on the fire necklace. Don't. Because then you're putting yourself back the same way with the Zippo or the Bic. You fall, break the Bic, no fluid. Now what? The matches don't work. You got them wet. Now what? Yeah, I know you're out there going to say, yeah, but they make stormproof and waterproof matches. Now, you may say, okay, well, you're just holding it wrong. Well, I hold my knife the same way. There's some better ones. And I get about that same spark, but it is good. A lot better than the other one. But some other things I like about this kit, it's a little leather pouch. You got a lanyard hole on the ferro rod. It's nice wood, it holds. I definitely would put a lanyard piece of material, leather strip like this, through it so it's more attached, so you can't, it's not coming out, but just because I'm shaking it here doesn't mean when I really need it, I don't lose it. And it also comes with a collapsible, in the ad they call it a bellows. This is not a bellows, but it does allow you to get your coals into an ember, from an ember to a flame better, blowing a little extra air in it. Does have a couple other uses I can think of. I like to carve. Sometimes I burn bowls with wood, with fire. It would be helpful for that if you're actually doing that out in the bush, which I don't know why unless you need it to. Could be also used as a drinking straw. Personally, I wouldn't use it as a drinking straw unless I purified my water and all this and that, and I'm laying in my bed and I want to be lazy for some reason. But hey, you know, to each his own. One thing I would say about the holder's nice. It's padded, soft leather. This I will replace. This is just thin. If I have to punch bigger holes in this with a leather punch, I will, but I'll put a piece of better leather than this. I may or may not keep this, but some other stuff I ordered. I will say this. It came with a piece of paracord. I since lost it. It only came with a paracord that was about this long. Paracord does fit through that hole pretty good, but when it's only this big, I'm not sure what they called it a necklace. I'm sorry, I got a miniature Chihuahua in my house. It wouldn't make a necklace for her. So the only thing I can think of is you tie it together, and you put a D-ring or a clip around it and hook it to your belt, your backpack, some other form. But it's not. Is it a necklace? No. Now, go buy you some paracord. I do like the color. It does come in multiple colors, by the way. I picked orange. They do have it in black, yellow, silver, I think red. You know, the reason I picked orange is the same way I use orange paracord. It's easier to see. I mean, you don't want it camoed out in the woods. Okay, black, you drop it, how you gonna find it? Oh, I think I actually have forest green. Yeah, you drop it in the woods, how you gonna find it? It's gonna blend in, so you're out without your fire starter. So I always go with bright colors, orange, yellow, yeah, but it's more of a goldish yellow. But anyway, put a piece of paracord on it. Yeah, it's better than the other one. Now, this one was like almost $10. Let me put that back. I got it mixed. This one was like 10 bucks. Okay. There's your striker. For some reason it has a ruler on it. Goes to 50 millimeters, I guess. Because I can't figure out how to read it. It goes from 10. The next one says it's 50. I don't know. Same way on this side, so you don't have inches. It just, whatever. Little bottle opener, I guess. And that's your striker. Little teeth thing, just like on the other ones. Your ferro rod. Show you, see how it strikes real quick. Again, these work so much better with a pocket knife. It does. There you've seen some strikes, some sparks. Now you may be saying, yeah, you're holding it wrong. Well, I've done the same way. Hello, welcome to another episode of Indigenous Survival. I'm your host, Jeff Soaring Hawk Gibson. Today I'd like to show you 3 different fire necklaces, they call them, from Temu, on basically their ferro rods with strikers. Okay, I picked the cheapest to one of their most expensive, and I got them in the other day. And just to let you know, I've already tried them out in my house. You know, just curious at first. So let's go with it. This is the first one that that I have. This one is their cheapest. It's like $1.49, something like that. It's got a nice lanyard, nice paracord. Yeah, but there's your ferro rod, and this thing is your striker. As you can see, it moves around a lot, so trying to get this thing back where you can use it can be a little pain in the butt. So can holding it, by the way. When I got them in, this is the only way I found you can hold it. And, you know, yeah, put some sparks out. But I'll tell you what, holding it like this kills you. Okay, is it absolutely better than nothing? Yeah. It would have been better if they made this a lot longer. I mean, I understand the idea is small, compact, but don't always work, to be honest with you. It does kill you trying to use this. I did use a pocket knife on this and also on the other ones. Pocket knife works a hell of a lot better than the little striker does, but yeah, it works. Okay, next one. It looks like a little whistle, and I don't know. It does come with a couple extra O-rings in the package. Here's your striker. Little bitty thingy. Okay. And here's your ferro rod. You have to make sure it's on there because I just messed with it the other day and it loosened up. So, again, these all work better with a pocket knife. But this one is way better than the other one. Okay, I will say this. I do want to clarify one thing to everybody out there. If you see the camera move a little bit too much, on my last video with the shovel, the cat that you've seen in that video died. And I dedicated that video to it because it would always be in my videos. It would be where I would sit out here when I paint or I do carving, and it would sit out with me. She got hit by a car and died instantly, thank God. But one of my other cats kind of seems to take its place. And as my wife is shooting the video, she's trying to get up on her lap and be in it. So I guess the spirit of the one cat is teaching this one to do the same thing she did. I'll see when I come out here to do more of my painting and stuff. So anyhow, back to this. Last thing I'll say about it is, if you buy any one of these from Temu or wherever you buy it from, include a mag block. Now there's a lot of the mag blocks out there. I don't buy the most expensive. I buy the ones from like Walmart. I've seen some at Dick's Sporting Goods. It's like $15 for a mag block. Why? The ones from Walmart do just as fine. I bought a few from tractors from Harbor Freight. They're not bad. They're cheap. They're like $2 at Harbor Freight and $5 at Walmart. You don't need to go. The point is, you don't need to spend $15 for a stupid mag block. They're all mag. Okay, magnesium burns. So you don't have to buy them from any. And if you don't want to buy these, if you want to go buy some from Rural King or Menards, go ahead. I use them too. But just remember, you got to put them in something. So, because they're not uniform shape, unless you want to sit there with a little saw or something and cut it down and drill a hole, by all means go ahead. I'm not doing it. But I would rather put a few chunks in something and carry that. But remember, it's not just the striker ability, it's what your tender is too. So with that being said, continue to like, share, and subscribe. Please check out my other videos. And until the next one, I'll give you a hint on what my next video will be. Are these pocket hand saws or pocket chainsaws? Are they even worth carrying outside of a folding saw? Which is better? Or do you want to carry both? There could be a reason to carry both. I could see one right now is if the hand chainsaw works, I could tie out big paracord to one side and the other side to extend the handles, throw that sucker over top of a big branch that I want cut down for some odd reason, and I can stand here on the ground and just go like this to cut, as opposed to how am I going to do it with the folding saw. I can't climb up unless I want to climb up the tree and risk getting injured, which is something you don't want to do if you're out surviving on your own. I wouldn't want to climb a big tree to cut this limb down, because it's could break and destroy my shelter. So I need to cut this down. Okay, I don't want to follow the tree and break my leg. Now what? Now I got a broken leg in the middle of the bush with nobody around. Yeah, I might have a nice first aid kit, and I'm on pain medicine, so I might have that. I'd have that with me, but and maybe even some whiskey with me. Yeah, I could probably control my pain somewhat. Which my wife is just looking at me, and why didn't I take whiskey when we went camping? I don't know, but I think when we went, I didn't know we was allowed to have alcohol there. But anyway, but the point is I don't want to be injured. Now I got a broken leg. Okay, I'm controlling the pain, but now I'm hampered. So yeah, if the hand chainsaw works, there's a good reason to have both. Stuff for on the ground, and if I need to cut something bigger and my hand saw won't, my folding saw won't work, that one will. But we'll see you on the next video. Until then, like, share, and subscribe, and please share and watch the other videos. You took the place of Thunder. But anyway, so anyhow, now there are other places you can go get fire strikers. You can get one at Walmart. I know I have one. I just got to figure out where it is, because my grandson got into some of my boxes that I have labeled, and he moved a bunch playing with them, and also remodeling and changing my room and everything like that. Me and my wife did. I did misplace a few things, but they're not much different. But I will buy some, and we'll do I know you've seen the one on the Temu survival kit. It's in a box. They have some in it. Walmart sells some. My wife wants me to do one on that. I'm buying one from Walmart survival kit. They're a little more expensive. They're like $35 to $40. And I like buying. I like buying the cheapest stuff. Why? I'm not saying I'm cheap, but be honest. If your wife sent you into the store to buy a loaf of bread, are you buying a loaf of bread that's $7? You're going to buy the loaf of bread for $1.25. It's bread. You're buying a loaf of bread for $1.25. You're like me. If you're like me, I'm a man. It's bread to us. I don't know how many times my wife has sent me to the store to buy eggs, and I come back with different eggs, and she's like, "You bought the wrong eggs." What do you mean wrong eggs? It's an egg. I wanted the extra large brown AA, AA or AAA eggs. It's an egg. I bought eggs, but these are the medium size eggs, and to me it's an egg. Okay. I know somebody out there is going to hear this and say, "Well, you should have known better to buy." No, hey, look, an egg and an egg to me. I buy the cheapest. Hey, these were $6 for the dozen. This one's $3. I'm buying the $3. That's the way I am, and I won't change doing that. Only thing I'll say I've done different is when I was a lot younger and I drank beer. Yeah, I don't care if there was a 30-pack for $8. I don't buy it. I stay with my Coors. Sorry, I stay with Coors Light. I don't care what it went to. That was the preferred brand I liked. Second one was Miller Genuine Draft. I liked it when it came out. Outside of that, it's not beer's beer or whiskey's whiskey or whatever, but hey. But going back to these, then you take and put some green or punky wood, preferably logs, over top. The punky logs do more things than you realize. It will, since it is punky, it's porous. When it gets wet, it kind of acts like a sponge. Yeah, you don't want it down here in your fire, but if you put it over top your fire, it shields your fire. Now, if it starts raining, if you do all this and it starts raining, first of all, be honest with you, if I was on a loan and it starts raining, yeah, I'm going to protect my fire, but I'm not going to go, now I'm going to go check my fish traps. Or I'm going to go check my other snares for rabbit or squirrel. I'm not doing that. I'm keeping my ass inside my shelter. Because why? When you have a good day catching fish, you don't stop at one fish and go, I got enough, or two. No, you catch 15 fish or whatever, you eat one and you smoke the rest and put them inside your shelter or inside a designated storage shelter for your fish. And guess what? Now it's pouring down rain, my butt ain't getting out of my shelter except long enough to grab me a damn smoked fish and run back into my shelter and sit under there eating it. And I'm gonna sit there laughing at the other idiots that are out there standing in the pouring rain going, I got a rabbit on here, but I'm free, coming down ice cold rain, that's almost like sleet. Yeah, I ain't doing that. I'm not doing that because my butt is safely in my shelter snacking on smoked Arctic char, or I'm not a big trout person myself, but trout or catfish or whatever the hell fish I caught, I'm sitting there snacking on that in my shelter, nice and snug and warm, while the other 9 contestants are out drenching their ass. So, and that's probably why they won't let me on alone, because I'm smart enough to actually win the damn thing. I already got turned down for Naked and Afraid, and by the way, if any Naked and Afraid producers are out there, thanks for the nice turn down. I loved your letter saying that I make it look too damn easy. I love your letter. I love it. I love the video. I'm glad you liked the video I sent you in. But let's think about it. I'm sorry if I made it look too way too easy. I'm not I'm patting myself on the back, but I actually did get that letter where they sent me an email saying thanks for your video, but this time you're overqualified. I'm thinking my wife, I showed that to my wife, and she's like, what do you mean overqualified? I said, well, they want stupid people out there. They want somebody to drown, you know? Now, this is the amount that I used. You can see the original size right there. I didn't use a lot. So out of one of these blocks, where somebody might say, that's only good for one fire. Well, how much fat wood are you using? I mean, I guess a whole tree wouldn't be enough for you. So if you're using just a little bit, if you're using a whole bunch of it by splitting it down like this, yeah, that's not a lot. You may get 1 or 2 fires out of this, maybe 2 at the most. You just shave it a little bit with your knife. That's all that's necessary. So that would give me, I don't know, 20 fires maybe? 15, 20 fires. More than enough out in the woods. Because, speaking of fire, because why? I get a fire going, and I hate to use this show, but it's ridiculous on them. Naked and Afraid, or even Alone. These people put their fire out all the time. You know, they go out hunting, they put their fire out. Then they come back and they get their fire going again. Why on earth do that? Or if you're going, or like on Alone, or Naked and Afraid, they're leaving this spot and they gotta go over. You know, now they go, oh my God, we lost our fire striker. I don't know what we're going to do. Why on earth did you put the? I mean, yeah, you put the fire out, but why not make a fire bundle, put some coals in it, carry it with you? That's once you get a fire going, you know, you take it with you. Primitive man didn't do that. They didn't go, me put them out fire and then try to, hopefully you could beat 2 rocks together again 20 miles later and try to restart it. What happens if you can't? Now you don't, now that brontosaurus burger that you got, you can't cook it. Fred Flintstone can't eat because he put his fire, because women put the fire out. You know, no, you bundled it up. You bundled some coals up in some flammable material and you controlled it. So that way, when you got to another spot, you just open it up, put it into tinder, little air, and you got fire again. Once you got it going, you don't let it quit. Just like on Alone. These people put the fire out all the time. And they go, I hope I can get, I caught a fish, I hope I can get my fire going. Why? Now somebody out there may say, yeah, but you don't leave a fire unattended. Well, that's why you build a very good fire pit. You dug it down, you put a couple layers of rock on top, and then when you make them, you can put them inside of a match tube, you know, the match box holder for your survival waterproof matches. They take up about the same amount of space as a match, but yet it helps you with your match or anything else getting it going. And they're really inexpensive to make. You know, you can make various types. So, you know, you can use the same materials to make round ones like this, flat one, the ropes, various other things. You can make cubes. I've done them making using sawdust and that, pressed them into old toilet paper rolls, let it dry and harden, cut them into pellets. They all work. But as far as these go, each one on itself is not bad. All three do light with the addition of good tinder. Now, if I really wanted this going, I had the tinder, then I had some good, really small kindling. Yeah, it works. But the idea of going cheap, now I like buying the least expensive if it works. But with these, you got this one that really needs to be bigger. This one needs a better striker. As you can see, yeah, 3 sparks, but what worked better? The knife, my knife. This one is you know, I would say almost doesn't need anything. With the addition of putting a fat wood block on one side, and I'll be honest with you, 1 second, I'll show you when you think, oh, he used a lot of fat wood. Well, you can see in there, I didn't, but I'll show you how much of one I actually did. Okay, for the third and final one, the one I like, I mean, do the other two work? Yeah. They work a little hard to use, but they do work. Okay. I guess you have to hold this one in your hand. It's really not what I would prefer. I would probably prefer a clip. But anyway, this one should work better because you got a longer rod and a better throws a lot more sparks, and I got it to go a lot faster than I did the other ones. So, my opinion on them is where they all work. What are you doing? Where they all work, yes. Do they all work? Yes. So, with them all working, which one, again, would I prefer to carry? It's going to be the last one. Why? It's just, to me, a lot more easier and convenient. It may be bigger, but it throws a lot more sparks. If I was really out, and that's how I got my fire going, you know, I can use the stupid name that they give it, the bellows, but it's not a bellow, it's just a tube. You got since it does collapse, you got a nice long distance. I'm not going to use it to blow it out. You got a nice long distance to get your fire going better. Now with and also the fact that I did use other tinders. You know, homemade. Now you could buy some of the same tinders online. I know of. Don't ask me where. Probably Amazon. You can look them up. But a lot of the stuff is easy to make. I've made those little pads. I've also made fire rope, which is the exact same thing, but using a hemp rope. Make sure it's 100% natural hemp. I mean, you can use any type of natural fibers. I like the hemp rope because it's, one, it is natural fiber, and two, when you make them, okay, Now, I got the little thing set up pretty much identically, so you can see how well each one performs without, oh, that one's got more of this, or that one's got, you didn't use this one on that. They're all the same. It's one of the little homemade fire starters with a little bit of magnesium on it, and some of the fat wood shavings on each one. So they're not even for all three. So, let's start with the I call the hardest, because it is, honestly. And I'm going to leave my knife out, so just, if this don't, I'll try it again with the, using my knife to see if that's any better. So let's see how hard these are going to be to actually get one to throw enough sparks to light it. As you can see, I got to be pretty close. I'm hitting the thing. Well, so far, not with that. Let's try my knife. Really not much anything, is it? Go back to trying it with this. Okay, come on. Took a little bit, but it got. Let me move this one out of the way. So, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Okay, let that one go. So, okay, we've seen how that one worked. Okay, that one didn't do bad. It did work. Okay, let's bring this one over. And yes, I'm doing these on my grill because I don't want to use I'm not really planning on doing anything else, so let's get this thing open. But we did see it worked. Took a little bit to do, but okay, this is what I call the middle set. To put that out of the way, let's try this. Almost. It loosens up as you use it, so that's one problem. And this little thingy right here is a pain in the ass. I don't know if that's going to be acceptable on YouTube, but pain in my butt. If the thing didn't stop loosening up, it might be a little easier. Okay, let's try with a knife. There it goes. Problem with this thing is, the little striker is a little hard to use, and it loosens up. Let me put this back together. But it does work, but the little striker that comes with it is a little hard to use. It loosens up, so there's one bad problem with it. Let's move this off the side, let it burn. Okay, for our third and final one.